As you may notice, so far we have application which ends each time we enter some desired value and get results. So that means we can only run this program once, and then if we want to run it again, we have to start it again. Exactly, that means, for example, if I want to run this application and I want to calculate some value, for example, of 10 meters, I get it's 1000 centimeters, I need to rerun this program. What we will do in this video and what we will learn new is that we will make our program to run as long as we want it to run. That means when we will enter one value, program won't quit. Program will continue to run and execute as long as we want. This will happen as long as we send some command to program or stop it by press stop to quit application. And to do that, we will use something what it's called in Python while loop. Loops allow us to execute some logic multiple times. And in Python, there are two loop commands, for loops and while loops. And in this video, we will use while loop. In another video, we will use for loops. And also keep in mind that this is another thing which confused many people. And many people also give up on this. So I will put focus on this as detailed as possible to make you understand everything without any confusion. Also keep in mind that this while loop will be extremely simplified. So it will just be one line of code that you understand for the beginning what is while loop, what is loop actually. And later we will go more in depth that you understand more complex things. What's important for you to understand here, loops are commands which we use to tell program how many times we want to execute something. And that's why it's called loop, of course. And execution of program will happen in specific circumstances. For example, as long as some statement actually is true, some condition is true. So we will say, for example, as long as everything what we enter here is true, I want after you make me calculation that you provide me again option to make new calculation. I hope this is clear. So in our case, we want to execute program as long as we want. So that means until we quit program or until we make some changes in application that we can type some command to kill program, to quit program. Syntax we will use to make this to work is while, and it's very similar like if, because it will run under some condition, and in our case will be that we want to make it run as long as condition is true or until we kill the program manually. So let's make our code. We will type while true, and we need to put indentation here, right? And sorry, while is not with capital letter. And we can put this in one line up. And watch this very carefully now. What will happen if I run this program right now when I define while loop to run as long as this condition is true? Let's run it. I will get prompt. I will enter some value to calculate, and this program will really run and go in loop. So I need to stop it. Why? This is why. You remember when I put this variable here to be with other variables. In this case, I need to cut it and put it before I execute this validator function. So now when I run this application, I will get desired result. To calculate for 1, I will get answer, and that's it, 5, and I'm requested to enter something again, some stupid symbols. I will get error, but I will be requested to enter again, negative number, some float, 0. So everything works and program will run as long as I want to run or I tell to stop it. And then it's kill. So like you know, true is Boolean. So for Python, it means that condition we are running must be true. So as long as it's true, this will run forever. I hope you noticed that while loop also need to have indentation with 2 lines below, because that's the style how to write Python code. So when you have while loop here, same like here with function or try and or except or if else conditional statements, you need to make indentation, same like everywhere. That's the way how to write Python code. And now when we run this program, we will get exactly what we want at the beginning of this video, to make it run as long as we don't press stop. So at this moment, there is only one way how you can stop this program, and that's quitting application, pressing stop button, or combination of Ctrl+C to terminate application. But what if we can also provide in our code specific command to allow user, like to put some command to quit the program? Is this possible? Yes, of course it's possible. But in that case, we will need to change this condition. So now we run while loop until condition is true. But now we want to change it to run it until we get some text written to terminate this program. So how we will going to do that? We will say while user input is not equal to, let's say, exit, run this program. And you see that this user input is highlighted. Why? Because when I run this program right now, I will get that syntax error, expect something, but that was expected, and sorry, colon here first. And when I run it right now, I will get error that name error of user input is not defined. And that's actually true. And why it's not defined? Because user input is defined after while loop. Okay? So you understand, before we use variables and we explain how this Python code is executed from top to bottom. So now when we are in while loop and want to execute something, and we specifically defined that you should run this until it's not equal to exit, and user input which is not equal or it's equal to exit, defined in which condition will happen some different action, it's not defined before this while loop. So how we can fix this? If you remember, in same code you can use same variable multiple times. So we can, for example, make here that user input is equal to nothing, and later we define user input to be exactly what we want. And why we do this? We do this because we want from while loop to request something which must be defined before this while loop. Watch my previous videos from the beginning and you will understand exactly what I mean. Some variable can be used in the same script multiple times, but as Python code is run from the top to bottom, last value will be used for last calculation. And in this particular case, if we have user input before while loop, we will define in while loop what will be if it's or if it's not equal to exit. And later we will use while loop to make some input from user, which we will later use to calculate what we want to calculate. So we can use same variable million times if we want. We can also put user input like to be 100 here, and nothing will change because it's first 100, then it's empty, and when I run, I will get exactly what I want. Okay? So that's the point. But now if I type exit, program will stop. Okay? I will get calculation, but program will stop because this is something what I want to happen. So to show you that it's not mistake, if I press 1, I get calculation and I get new request to make input. If I press enter 0, I will get error and I will get request to make new input. If I put -1, I will get error and request for new input. If I put any text, I will get error and I will get request to make new input. But if I type exit, I will get error and program will quit. Because this is exactly what we write here. So this line we don't need here. I just show you that you can make multiple enters of same variable as many times as you want, but last value will be that one which will be read, and then we get exactly what we want. In first case, I will show you how you can make infinitive loop, and you can manually quit it only when you press stop or Ctrl+C on your keyboard. And like this, we make option that you can quit it also like that, but also if you just simply type exit. So we give user option that user can quit application simply when it's type exit, and that's it. So guys, I hope this not confuse you. I hope it's super clear what we are doing here. So this is just some condition. So in first case we have while it's true, run it as long as I don't manually quit it pressing stop. And now with this while loop I say run it until I type exit. So here we have, like you see, one condition when some input value is equal to 0, and here I have condition as long as it's not equal to exit, run this program. So condition here is if as long as it's not equal to exit, but in moment when it's equal to exit, quit. That's the point. That's how loops work. In this case, how while loop works. So guys, I really hope this is easy to understand. It's really not complicated. It's just one additional line of code and one copy-paste empty variable to make this program to run. So I hope you understand how we use while loop, and in next video we will talk a little bit more about more complex things like lists and for loops. See you in next video, guys.